right. Welcome back. This is day 2 of our annual meeting in Nashville. Meeting's going great so far. I have a guest here with me right now. This is Jacque Reynolds from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. How's it going? How's the conference going so far for you?
Yeah, I feel like being kind of a newer branch, I've been with the company less than a year. Any information, any feedback from other offices is going to be invaluable. And so I feel like you kind of cherry pick all the best practices that you can hear and you soak up whatever knowledge you can get.
Yeah. Your office is having a lot of success recently.
It is. It doesn't always feel like that. I feel like anytime you lose a client for health reasons, or I wouldn't say we've lost any for customer service, but for health reasons. And if they're a customer that had a lot of hours, you feel that, and so you can feel some internal pressure with that. So it doesn't always feel like we're doing well.
What's been your favorite part of the meeting so far? We had last night a reception, a dinner and award show. This morning we've had several different guest speakers, business development panel. Don't just say that to make Ben and Corey feel good.
No, honestly, part of it would be the reception, just because you get to talk a little bit more one-on-one with other people that are in the trenches with you, and you can ask questions, pick their brain, especially some of the branches that maybe have seen some good growth. I was talking with Quad Cities a lot last night, and we were at their table, and they won 2 awards. They're doing amazing, so it was really neat to see what they're doing, some things that we're doing that they're not doing, and so I think that was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, every time you talk and share those stories, you always learn something, or give a piece of knowledge, like you say.
Sure.
So Quad Cities is probably one answer to this question, but I was just going to ask, who have you made friends with here that you didn't know before you came to town?
Quad Cities, I would say, and Iowa City. They're
Lonnie.
not too, Lonnie. She was just kind of been a good resource.
And her nurse is named Danelle Cooper.
Yes.
Did you met her too?
Yes. Yeah, that kind of whole crew.
I haven't gotten a chance to get to know her yet. There's just so many people here. It's hard.
Yeah. And then actually down in the hotel, I had run into Caitlin and Whitney and introduced myself. They said they were brand new, and so
they are brand new.
Yeah, so they had questions for me, so I got to kind of share a little bit from my perspective, and that was neat too.
So Caitlin, we were just in here playing this trivia game where Aaron puts me on the spot to answer these people's birthdays, and Caitlin was one of them. And he said something like, "How long have you been with the company?" And she said, "What did she say?
Today's my first day."
Right. It's pretty new.
Yes.
And then Whitney, I haven't gotten a chance to meet her yet.
Oh, you should. They know that she's the DO nurse, but they started together. So.
They're in Portsmouth also. It's supplementing what Jesse Porter does.
Yes.
He didn't get to make it, I don't guess. I haven't seen him yet.
I didn't meet any gentlemen with them.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, shout out. Hope you're doing all right. He's been a nurse there, man, a long time now.
Okay.
Years. So I bet he's very happy to have Whitney's help. And I am too. Thank you, Whitney and Caitlin. Let's see, what else is new? What's going on up in Sioux Falls? Is it like freezing cold there already?
Well, being an Arizona native,
it is all the time to you.
Yeah, this will be my first winter in Sioux Falls. I moved from Arizona in March for the job.
Grew up in Arizona?
Phoenix.
Where in Phoenix? What part of Phoenix?
I grew up on the east side of town near ASU, Arizona State University. Then just kind of kept going more and more west.
Boy, Phoenix has really exploded since you grew up, I bet. It's not even the same place
anymore.
Oh,
no, I don't miss the traffic. I lived about 2 miles down from the Cardinal Stadium. And so when the Super Bowl was here, that was insane.
That's like Glendale, right?
Yeah.
Isn't Phoenix now like the, 8th most populous U.S. city?
Yeah, it might be the 4th.
4?
It might be the 4th. It's
huge.
It's
up behind New York, L.A., and Chicago, finally.
Yes. When I was, I won't tell you my age, but when I was 18, I studied abroad, and I lived in New Zealand for a little over a year, and the entire country's population was the population of just Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to go to New Zealand maybe in January.
Oh. South Island's where you got to go.
I was going to say, you got any recommendations for me on that?
South Island is where it's mostly all beautiful.
What was South Island?
Yeah, there's 2 islands in New Zealand.
Okay.
You have a North Island and a South Island.
That's what they call it.
I
see.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, clearly.
But
New Zealand. Wow. How did that happen?
It actually was a scholarship through my church. They just wanted me to study abroad, and
God, you lucky dog.
I know.
That's
I know.
so up my alley, man.
Yeah.
I never got that opportunity. Well, how did they tell you it was New Zealand, or did you get
Yes.
some options and you picked
No,
it?
it was New Zealand. They had a connection with with people at this college, and it ended up being a really small college on this little farm in the North Island, which the North Island was where Lord of the Rings was filmed. So,
Oh, really?
or at least where the Shire was. South Island's where all the pretty parts of the Lord of the Rings was.
Where's their airport? Which island is that?
They have multiple airports.
Okay.
So there's one in the North Island,
I
a
see.
couple in the South. So, but yeah, just got to go and study, go to Bible college for a year and a half, and come home and intern, and then actually it was when I was 19 that I first got into healthcare. So,
Gotcha. Well, you have a really interesting story.
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to talk about? Have you ever seen the podcast before?
I've watched a couple, yeah, on the podcast.
You know, I throw out some pretty weird questions sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Coincidentally, this might prove me wrong. One of the ones that I had just written into my phone. This is the most random thought of all time.
Okay.
It said, I'll show you. I'm not just making this up
Okay.
on the spot.
All
It
right.
says, I have never met an Arizona Cardinals fan in my lifetime. I don't think I have. Are you an Arizona Cardinals fan?
I am an Arizona Cardinals fan
This is the moment.
because I live in Arizona.
Austin, can you believe it?
But
serendipity.
I'm actually more of a Packers fan. So I don't know. I don't know if it counts.
Do you have, okay,
I
let's
have- I
settle
have-
it this way.
I've
you
been to a
have-
Cardinals game.
Do you have, right now, currently, in your home, one single stitch of clothing,
Yes.
hat, anything that says Cardinals on it?
Yes, I do.
Then you're a fan.
Okay.
That counts.
It
If
counts.
you could throw a shirt on and be a Cardinals fan that way, then I think it
Yeah.
counts.
Well,
You
and I
want me to ask you something else?
and I want to just say thanks for making that video for our
yeah.
our office.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I want to hear about it. And
So, Jackie asked us to make a video for a holaday party, right? Coming up
Yes.
later this week, right?
yeah, Friday night.
And so we went around and gave a kind of, think Dunder Mifflin style tour, like
That
on The
is
Office.
perfect because the awards I'm giving out at my party are the Dundies. They're Village Caregiving Dundies, so it's perfect.
So our buddies here at Impact Media, thanks for coming into Nashville. There goes Garrett Atkins right there. Superstar. They're going to edit it up, and man, it was like 27 minutes of just footage because we went seriously all through the main building at corporate, across the street, up to the billing department, nursing compliance, outside again into the other building where the operations team was, back out. We had these random drop-ins, like the mayor comes in at
Yeah.
one point. It seems like we did this on purpose, but it just turned out to be perfectly random and great. But so they can speed up and cut certain parts of that, and it'll get down to like a, I don't know, 15-minute short video, which you can show
put
during
the
dinner.
Office music behind it, Office theme music.
Well, can we do that, or is that a copyright infringement? It depends. We want monetizing it, right? It's just for fun. Right.
Right there, you go.
Fair use. I'm an attorney, you know. I remember that copyright class. I don't put that to much use anymore. Did you know I'm a lawyer?
I figured
Really?
figured
Oh,
all
what's
of
that
you were
supposed to mean?
lawyers.
I figured.
Because
I
all
think
of
that's
you,
an insult.
You don't. Well, you
Should be.
one. You have Esquire at the end of your name in your signature. So I mean, that's
That's kind of a brag move, isn't it?
no, not necessarily.
I don't even need to have it on there. I should remove that.
Well,
I'm
it's
gonna
just-
take
I was-
that off.
That's why I said, oh, he's probably a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, so anyways, I hope they like that video.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that, and I'm excited it's Office themed.
It was a fun time making it. So whenever you asked, I first am thinking in my head, well, you know, you got a million things. You're busy. Like, we'll just have Corey point a thing, say, hey, everybody at Sioux Falls. And it'll be 45 seconds of, hey, we appreciate the work you do. I was like, you know what? Let's make it better than that.
Yeah.
So, and it turned into a lot of fun.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, thank you for
thanks
the
doing
challenge.
that. Sure.
Let me ask you this hard-hitting question.
All right.
This is just an observation.
Okay.
Trivia question.
Okay.
This is true. Anybody from Dallas area will know this is true. I was driving down the highway in Dallas. Actually, I was a passenger in an Uber, I think. But either way, I'm going down the highway in Dallas, and I saw these two huge flagpoles. Huge.
Okay.
Skyscraper height. Huge. One has a USA flag. One has a Texas flag. Going up. I mean, it looks like Jack and the Beanstalk. It's gone up into the clouds. These things are so huge. And they must have been 10 flags on each one of them. Huge USA and Texas flags. My question to you, do you know what the name of the store was called?
A store?
It was a store,
Oh.
actually. Or some kind of a business, but it had the name plastered in huge letters on the front of it, right between.
The only thing I could think of, because they have something similar in South Dakota, any place that there's this business
If you
has
get this
a
right.
ginormous American flag. It doesn't have the state flag, but just a giant
Okay.
American flag, and it's Perkins
Perkins.
Restaurant.
Oh, Perkins. Yeah,
Yeah,
I kind
like-
of like Perez, late night college. Go
Right.
out and get
They're
your
right
grub on.
all off the interstate. That's the only thing I've ever seen.
General Counsel Andy Hess and I were frequent Perkins late night eaters whenever we lived together in college.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I'm going to reveal the answer to you. It's
Okay.
not Perkins. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This
was I close?
You could be right. It's not that. That's just not the answer I was looking for.
Okay.
In this particular instance in
Okay.
Dallas, with these huge poles and all the flags,
Okay.
20 flags on the front of the building. Name of it? Flags and Poles.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, it said Flags and Poles, comma, Inc. They make them both.
They're
I guess.
incorporated.
That's right. It's not an LLC. They want you to know that too. It's actually a corporation.
Well, see, then you should leave your Esquire on there. The comma and acronyms are important.
Here's another thing I noticed. There are some really crazy looking vehicles at the airport. You ever be up in look down where they got the jet bridges that go out and the guys are all running around luggage and whatnot, but then you'll see some vehicles going around that are truly wild, man. It's like you ever seen a Star Wars movie where anytime you get inside the Death Star, there's these bizarre looking futuristic things that have prongs, and it's like that. What could that even be for? Those actually exist at the airport.
Do they?
Yeah.
I've never seen Star
Thoughts
Wars.
on that?
So
You never seen Star
No.
Wars? Yeah. You know, it's funny about that. If you've never seen Star Wars, and I think if you watch it right now, I don't think you're going to like it very much.
I would believe that.
If you grew up watching it, you'll love it.
Right. It's iconic.
Right. A lot of movies. You know, there are a lot of movies, especially I've noticed 80s movies, and I like old stuff. My favorite TV shows, I was a weird kid, man. I would watch anything from old black and white, Andy Griffith Show, Beverly Hillbillies, Gunsmoke, Rawhide, Paladin on Have Gun Will Travel. I can go for days. And then all through up 70s shows, All in the Family, Welcome Back Kotter, some
Yeah.
obscure stuff. I love these shows.
Sure.
But then you get into the 80s, and somehow I have never seen, now I've seen pieces of them. It's not like I live in a cave, but super popular movies. Like if Aaron were sitting here, we could superimpose him in, by the way. We talked about this, right? I'm going to just he's squeezing his head. He would lose his mind if he heard this, because I've never told him that I've never actually seen Ghostbusters. Only in the last year did I ever watch Top Gun, because I wanted to see it before the second one. I've never seen Coming to America. Never seen, what's the one with the
Fast Times?
Princess Bride?
What?
Right, I know. I've got this list of things that people just, and I say this, they can't believe.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man? Should I go back? But my question is sort of the same thing as your Star Wars. If you didn't grow up watching Coming to America, am I really going to watch that now as a 40-something-year-old guy and just be falling in the floor laughing? I kind of doubt it.
You might. You probably won't appreciate it as much. But if you watched other movies in that era, you're gonna get it.
Right.
But I feel like Star Wars is its like own genre. It's like in its own weird category. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah. No,
So.
I get it. And I bet it was pretty fascinatingly cool looking when
Yeah.
it first came out. I'll tell you what's a wild movie, man. I think it's not my favorite movie, but I honestly think it might be the best movie ever made. And that is 2001 Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick.
Never saw it either.
Well, that's a lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
If you ever see a list of like the American Film Institute, for example, AFI top 100 movies all time, it'll be up there normally like in the teens or 20s or something. So and they re-rank the list every 10 years. It sort of climbs. So a few reasons I say that. Number one, it's so futuristic and thought-provoking. I don't want to spoil too much, but just the way that it looks.
Sure.
That movie.
Sure.
In what Star Wars put it on my mind, whenever the Death Star explodes and you go back and see how George Lucas made these graphics. Now everything's CGI, it's easy,
Sure.
but he was having to have little clay models of cities and blow up little things in tiny little black rooms. It was crazy how he made it look so cool. I don't know how Stanley Kubrick did this. It looks like it was made last year. It looks better than the CGI stuff of today. And it was done. I told my wife this today. She was just like, there's no way, because she loves this movie. I was like, you realize that when that movie came out, I believe it was 1968, the Andy Griffith Show was still on the air. That's how good Kubrick made that film look. Anyway, I would say go home and watch it. It's really thought-provoking. It's kind of disturbing in parts too, but...
Well, I heard a rumor that you were possibly going to bring a guitar to Nashville. I heard that you're a musician. Is this true?
It is. There are a lot of guitars around here. Anybody got one? I'd play a song. I'm not shy about it. I've lost that gene. I learned a long time ago, whenever somebody would be like, oh, play us something, the more you protest, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
You're better off to just take it and start going.
Right.
So I got over that kind of phobia of performing. But no, we played in a band. I played guitar. I wasn't really good at it. And I was a singer. I've got a pretty good voice. I feel better about making that claim than as a guitarist.
Okay.
I play the piano a little, and I'm really bad at that.
Okay.
I could kind of play I'm a really bad drummer, but I could like keep a beat and do stuff like that. So I dabbled around. I'm just not a great musician at any of them.
See, I'm more of a guitar player and a drummer.
You are a guitar player.
I grew up learning.
Well, I promise you're better than I am.
But I just have to form our own band. If you had to like compare, if you're gonna go do karaoke, what would be like your song of choice, your karaoke?
I don't have
for
one.
your voice, your tone.
I don't have one like that. Whatever I'm in the mood for, and we do a lot of karaoke in the old Stevens household. We have my son is a huge golfer, and so in the basement there's this massive screen, a golf simulator screen that he pounded balls into for 5 years and probably put a zillion golf ball dents in. But now that he's moved out of the house, he's in college. It's more of just a theater room. So what we do now is we go down there and we have karaoke night just in our house.
Nice.
And my little 9-year-old girl, this is her favorite thing.
Yeah.
So we just pull up YouTube and project it up there, but then you dance in front of the screen
Oh,
or whatever and do
that's cool.
karaoke, and we have to take turns. It's really, really fun. And so I switch them up all the time. I don't have a
nice.
go-to or anything.
Nice.
What about you? You're in Nashville. Have you karaoke since you've been here?
No, I got in Sunday afternoon, and I've been coming down with a cold, so I haven't yet.
You should get. Are you staying tonight?
Yes.
It's your last chance. Get into Printer's Alley. A lot of karaoke bars on that street.
I know.
I've done some karaokeing in Nashville in my day.
Yeah.
Got into a fight on that alley one time. I don't know if this is podcast appropriate. Should I go here? Oh, Austin
Always
just
yes.
immediately said
yes. He's always gonna say yes.
I'll tell the story really because I wasn't in the wrong at all. So I was here in town. I think I was on Printer's Alley in Nashville, and I was in a bar playing a game of pool with this dude. Maybe he sees this and comes back and tries to murder me for. He won't see it. And I won. We had $100 on this game of pool. I win the money. He stiffs me. Won't pay me the money. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Of all the low moves.
Yeah.
And he's with a group of 3 or 4 friends, some guys, some girls. I'm in there with just one other buddy. We had just gone out for kind of a weekend trip, and so that's why we were doing karaoke and just going around playing some pool. This was like a nicer type of. When you say bar, it's easy to think some dump. It was nice, clean, bright with TVs and stuff. It was nice.
Yeah.
The guy won't pay me the money, so I started chirping him a little bit. I was gonna let him hear about it. Like, if I'm gonna at least get stiffed out of the $100, I'm gonna embarrass you a little.
Sure.
And so I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Volume a little bit louder, making sure it causes a little bit of a scene. Like, you got to be joking, you know what I mean? This guy, he was muscle bound.
Thinking
fella,
you wouldn't say anything.
probably.
Yeah.
And he's like, kind of to the side. He's like, "Hey, come here." And I was thinking he was going to be like, "I just don't have the money right now," or like, "Listen, man, I'm broke." I didn't know what he was going to say.
Sure.
But he actually wanted to whisper something in my ear. I walk up, takes like a half a step back, and just completely sucker punches me. Somehow, I don't know to this day, I guess I barely like turned with it in time, and it didn't do anything. And I just stood there like, oh, I mean, if that caught me flush, I may literally have gone out cold.
Yeah.
It was a haymaker from a strong dude.
Yeah.
And somehow it didn't do anything, and I just kind of like smiled in this dude's face, and before I could even like get mad or think or have any reaction, I see the guy that I was with, like something out of a movie, just comes diving over the corner of this table at this dude with a haymaker, like freaking MMA style. And then it turned it. That's the last fight I was in Nashville.
Little brawl.
But here's the proof, no joke, that I was not in the wrong on this. That they threw that guy out. I got to stay, and then all his friends that he was there with apologized and bought all my drinks the rest of the night as a way to say sorry about that.
That's awesome.
That's proof.
So
I was not.
proof.
I was in
Yeah.
the right on that one.
And that they probably wish he wouldn't have come out and hung out with them.
Yeah, they can't like that guy.
No.
Must be a maniac.
Yeah. And where was that in that downtown?
Yeah, it was. There's a little alley. It's real famous, Printer's Alley.
Okay.
One of the karaoke places. I think it was on that street. I don't remember the name of it. Probably not even there. That's been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's a good story.
Wild night. You got to go out and seek some fun in life. Sometimes it goes a little sideways.
Yeah, what happens in Nashville?
I mostly have good, clean fun, but that story makes me seem a little edgier, doesn't it?
It does. It's a good story to have in your pocket.
Right. What if he found out I completely made it up? What is it? He did swing first. I didn't swing at all, as a matter of fact.
No, you just turned your head.
Right.
Like the
Now,
Matrix.
my buddy went Superman.
Yeah.
Flying Superman.
That's funny that you got away with all that. Just turning your head.
I did. Well, all right. So let's wrap this episode up here. This has been a really fun conversation. What do you want to close with? You want to sing a little bit? Aaron always says you want to close with a song, and no one ever does it, except
No.
once in a while I will. You want to be on the spot here? Do you have a good voice? You said you played the guitar well.
It's okay.
And drums.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn drums?
Church.
Oh,
Church.
church songs.
My old youth pastor taught me play on the kit, and then I've been playing for years. So.
You know, Matt Walker is an excellent drummer.
Is he really?
Really, really good, yeah. We played together in a band, and he was, in my opinion, by far the best technical musician in the band.
Really?
He practiced really hard, and he was a very, very good drummer.
Really?
Yeah. So what kind of music are you into? What's your favorite artist?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. I feel like I can't have a favorite artist in different genres, but I mean Tom Petty's one of my all-time favorites.
I was listening to Tom Petty this morning.
Yeah.
Getting dressed to come down.
Yeah.
Always puts me in a good mood.
What I'm listening to right now, I like Zach Bryan. I actually do like Old Crow Medicine Show. They're really good.
Did you get that trivia question right? That it was co-written with Dylan
I
Wagon
did
Wheel?
get it right. Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty
Yeah.
common knowledge, isn't it? Was that a hard one for people around you?
My DO got it right.
Yeah.
So.
I want to give a shout out to Dawn Harden.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dawn.
Shout out, Don. I appreciate you so much and all the work you do for our office. I could not do it without you.
You haven't been to Barbersville, have you?
No, we haven't been yet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. We'd really like to come up.
You should come to Bartlesville, and I need to get up there to Sioux Falls too.
Yes.
I said in that video that we shot, and I addressed the caregivers and just said, I understand the work that you do. I've done it myself, and that gives you a level of respect for that job and how challenging it can be, but how much I appreciate it because of that. I have done it, and that I wanted to come up there, and we're going to do this again soon. And next party, I want to be there in person for it. This
Nice.
week's been pretty busy, so I
Yes,
probably am not going to make it Friday. But
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know if you want to come in December.
can you throw a summer party?
Yeah, we could throw a summer party, or even like the fall is beautiful too. But yeah, about May, June is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's make it happen.
Okay.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks for
Yep.
having me.
Thank you.